안녕하세요 여러분, 샤나입니다. Hello, this is Shana here. 머리 잘라야 되는데. 오케이. 이 영상을 찍기 전에 제가 설명해야 되는데요. 지금 침대에서 찍는 거 아니고 소파에 앉아 있는데, 근데 목이 그리고 허리가 좀 아파가지고 그래서 베개를 2개를 쓰고 있어요. Yeah, so in case you're wondering, I'm using 2 pillows because like my back is hurting and so I'm just propping myself up. Okay, yeah, so 늙었나 봐요 지금. Yeah, okay, so in any case, I'm just gonna shoot a very casual video because yesterday I took topic for the 6th time and I was asking on Instagram if you guys have any questions, and I got a couple. So I'm just gonna answer some questions and casually talk about my topic experience and maybe a couple of tips. So first thing, some of the questions and comments that you all had for me were like, are you alive? How do you feel after the exam? Do you think you can do well? Okay, so in general, I felt that. Okay, wait. So the first thing is that yes, I am alive. You are seeing this video one day after the exam. Yes, and as of how I felt about the paper, even though it's my 6th time taking it, it's still challenging because it's not easy taking a 3-hour exam and also in a foreign language. It is really mentally draining, and although it gets better with time, but I do still leave the exam hall feeling like membung. Yeah, so overall I thought that it was actually quite a tough paper, surprisingly, because I thought that after so many times and so many years of learning Korean and so many times of taking the exam, I would have a bit of like yoru taking the exam, but it was surprisingly a tough paper, especially because of the vocabulary. There were actually quite a number of vocabulary that I've never seen before, so and that really and that caused me to stumble on a couple of questions, so I'm really sad. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about my experience in terms of the 3 parts of the paper. So the first segment of the paper is actually listening, followed by writing in 110 minutes. So the first thing is that I actually forgot how long that paper was, and I forgot what time we started. So by the time listening ended, I kind of forgot like how long I have until the exam ends. Yeah, so that was that was a mistake on my part. So make sure you know when and how long the exam is. Okay, so so for the listening, I thought it was alright. It wasn't that difficult. Okay, so the front part of the paper, it was rather easy. You could understand 100% of like the dialogues, the passages, etc. But when it comes to the questions at the back, I don't know whether it's the case of my concentration waning or that the passages did get tougher, because I think I only had about 90 plus percent kind of like comprehension, and so I was a bit less confident for the questions at the back. Okay, so when it comes to the tips for the listening section, I have a separate video talking about it. Okay, so when it comes to the listening paper, I like to be 1 or 2 questions ahead of the audio. So meaning that I will actually read the question and options before that particular before the audio starts playing for the particular question. So how you do that is that for the first 2 questions, it's actually just pictures. So I'll just quickly skim through that, and then I will go straight to reading the 3rd question. Yeah, so my preference is that I will read the question and all the options carefully, so that I know what that particular question is about, like what kind of topic will be covered in the dialogue or the passage, and I'll know what to look out for. Okay, so I think when it comes to listening test, it's not just about your listening comprehension, but also your reading speed and your scanning abilities. So sometimes if I don't really have time to read I try to read like the full question and options, but what is important is also that you catch the keywords, so that you know when the audio is playing that, oh okay, so this keyword is actually option 3. So I will listen carefully, and then I'll be like, okay, is this fact correct or not? Yeah, so this is how I like to do listening tests. always doing 1 or 2 questions ahead. So sometimes when the passages are easier, or when the options and are easier to read, I can be about 3 questions ahead. So when it comes to writing, oh my gosh, okay, so writing was bad as usual. I really don't think I can write very well. So I always stumble on the first 2 questions, even though it's the easiest, because it's actually fill in the blanks, right? But I find it difficult because I tend to use very simple grammar where possible. So when I attempt those questions, I tend to want to use very basic grammar, and then I'll start doubting myself. I'll be like, I'm sure you're testing something more intermediate or advanced, right? But I'm just using like really the day-to-day kind of like very simple grammar points. So I always end up wondering whether I get it correct or not, and yeah, I wouldn't know. Okay, so when it comes to the stats and graph description question, I actually love that question the most because you can actually study for it. Yeah, it's really quite standard. So if you read sample essays, you can actually figure out what are some of the key phrases that will be needed for describing trends, statistics, and also how to start answering that question. So I think you have to start by talking about what is the organization that is actually so which organization is doing a survey on what topic. Then according to the results, then you start describing the stats. Yeah, so personally for me, I do keep a list of expressions and vocabulary that is used for describing trends, statistics, etc. So I will look through that every time before I take topic. So if you're interested, the link is somewhere in my blog, but if you need it, you can always drop me a comment and I will share the link again. Yeah. Okay, so that's that. I think that one I could do it relatively okay, I think. Okay, so when it comes to the final essay at the back, always listen to your teacher. So I'm sure that no matter what your native language is, your teacher will always tell you to plan before writing the essay, and yes, please plan. Yeah, so it's definitely saves a lot of time if you know exactly how you want to structure your essay before writing it. So some people will ask, oh, should I brainstorm, or should I do the outline in my native language, like in English or in Korean? And personally, I don't really have a preference, but every time I jot down the outline, I prefer jotting it down in Korean straight away, so I will know exactly what are the keywords that I want my essay to contain, and also what are my key points. Yeah. Okay, so the topic itself for this particular test wasn't very difficult, but I found myself writing rather weak arguments, I would think. Yeah, it's like my points are so painfully obvious and so painfully basic that throughout writing the exam, I was like rolling my eyes at myself. Yeah. So actually I don't know whether they are marking for content or language or a combination of both. We shall see. Yeah. Yeah, so this time around I didn't actually study for the writing exam. I know it, I hate myself. And so I don't know whether I'll do well. Probably not. So we will see when the results come out. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to essay writing, do I have any tips? Not at this point. But I think you just need to have very clear points you want to make in the essay. So I think for the essay, they will actually break it down into 3 major parts for you, like 3 major questions to answer in your test. So for each part, I will usually have 2 points. So in the end, my essay will contain about 6 points. Yeah, and make sure you write your introduction and conclusion, but don't spend too many words on that, because you should leave the bulk of your answer to answering the 3 guiding questions. Yeah. Okay, so when it comes to reading, okay, so reading usually is my favorite section, and usually is the one that I'm most confident in, but I'm really very sad this time around because I don't think I can get 100 marks. Okay, 我觉得我会被打。Okay, yeah. Okay, this is not humble brag or anything, but I was like kind of hoping that I could have a chance to continue the streak, or rather get 100 marks again for my reading section, and no, it's gone, no more chance, because as I mentioned earlier, I had quite some trouble with the vocabulary in the passages, and hence I know that I definitely got 2 questions wrong already. Okay, but anyway, topic is really not about the marks, but it's also an experience and to learn from that experience. Yeah, so now through this topic exam, I learned 4 vocabulary that I remember for life. Okay, so the first thing is that usually topic reading section, they have passages, or they have passages that spans across various diverse topics, but honestly I thought this time around it was actually rather technical, rather specialized. Yeah. So some of the so let me tell you the 4 words that I now remember for life. So the first one is iljogon. Did I pronounce it wrong? Do I sound a bit strange pronouncing it? But anyway, it means the right to enjoy sunlight in one's home. Oh my goodness, it's like so specialized that I was like, I know it's actually Hanja word, but I had a hard time figuring out what it meant, and it's only through the context of the passage that I kind of guessed that, yeah, it's about the right to sunlight. It's actually a very interesting topic, and I've never read about it before, so I am not familiar with the vocabulary used. So I think that was one thing that made me stumble during the exam. There was one whole passage on it. Okay, so then the second word is komujok. Komujok means encouraging, and I misinterpreted that sentence, and I thought it meant something pessimistic. I'm really sad about it. Okay, and the third one is the third word is 朴实. Because 朴实, the Hanja word for it, which I guess correctly, is 不实, and at first I thought it's something about being untrue or fake, something along that lines, but actually it just meant poor, insufficient. Yeah, okay, so the fourth one I think is nukjang. Okay, so nukjang I know it's something to do with nukta. Nukta is like, late, and in the end it meant like donder, linger. Yeah, so these are like the 4 words that I remember for life. Yeah, it's actually really quite difficult because even though I try to read widely, then I realized that there's still so many things that I don't know, and that actually makes me very motivated to start reading even more, and no matter what kind of like specialized or slightly more obscure topics, I'm gonna read them all. Okay, so yeah, so in the end, I thought that the reading paper was slightly more difficult than the previous round, so that made me also like less confident in scoring well. So we shall see what happens when the results come out. I think it's on 20th August. Yeah. Okay, so this sums up my topic taking experience, and if you have taken the same exam, please leave me a comment and tell me how you felt about it. And also in general, if you have any questions or any tips that you can share, please drop me a comment. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please also give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and come back for more content. Okay, yeah, so I need to rest. 지금 너무 힘들어요. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. 안녕. 또 봐요.